Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandat Pranam. Welcome to Gita Gyan English session. So today we will be discussing about Sloka on Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 12th and 13th Shloka. Parabrahma Parandhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rashaya Sarve Devarshir Naradas Tatha Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest." All the great sages such as Narada, Ashita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Hare Krishna to all devotees assembled here. Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So let us discuss about this wonderful shloka. So we'll just go for a small recap and then we'll come back. What happened in the previous chapter? Krishna says, he gives us the most confidential knowledge, right? So in 9.10, he says, Mayat Dikshena Prakriti Suyate Characharam. So Krishna says to Arjuna and to everybody, all of us, this is my Prakriti. This Prakriti, I am in control of that, right? The Suyate Characharam means the movable and the immovable. I am the creator, and at some time it will be annihilated, right? So he says like that, and he also says, he gives us different instructions in 9th chapter. In 9.22, he says Ananyas Chintayantoma, right? So always worship me with exclusive devotion. And what he says, yes, once we does the exclusive devotion, he gives what is the result? I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have, right? So and in 9.26 he tells us about patram pushpam phalam toyam. Okay, if you give me anything of this, it doesn't have to be great exclusive things, just patram pushpam phalam toyam. If you give me this with love, I will definitely accept. And in the last shloka, he says in 9.34, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhya jivam namaskuru. So engage your mind in thinking of me and become my devotee, right? And pay obeisances to me, worship me. Surely you will come back to me. So this was the, before the 10th chapter, this is what all Krishna gives different direct instructions to Arjuna and to all of us. And then comes the 10th chapter, in this chapter. So Krishna discusses about, gives instructions about Chatushloki Gita, right? So 10th chapter, 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotion service and worship me with all their hearts. In the 9th text, he says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. 10th text, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And the 11th one, to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So after listening to all this, Arjuna gives he gives his opinion, right? First he was confused. In the second chapter we saw he was totally confused and he takes shelter of the Lord. So now Arjuna says, oh my dear Lord, now after hearing all of the instructions of the Lord, Arjuna is coming to a conclusion that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And he says, oh, the ultimate abode, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original position, the unborn, the greatest, all the, and sometimes people say, oh, he's just his friend, that's why he's glorifying him. No, it's not like that. It's not only just Arjuna, it is all the other sages also, right? The Devarshi, the sages among the demigods, Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, right? And the Lord himself, he says, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's very important that Arjuna comes to a conclusion in the same way. We should also come to a conclusion. And that conclusion, when we will get, only when we are non-envious of him, right? So here, Srila Prabhupada says, this is also should be taken as a instruction with the Mayavadis. They say, oh, I will merge into the Lord, like that they say, so that's why he's clearly saying that the Lord and the Jivas are individuals. We cannot go and merge into the Lord and become one with him. No, it doesn't happen that way. We are individuals, and in our individual capacity, what are we supposed to do? We have to serve the Lord because we are here part and parcel. So Arjuna, after hearing the essential 4 verses, what happened? He was doubtful in the beginning. Now he is totally, completely free from all the doubts, and he accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he declares, you are Parabrahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what are we supposed to do? So we have to read Bhagavad Gita in proper consciousness, right? Humble, without envy, without pride, right? Then what will happen? What would be the result? The result would be that all our doubts will be removed. So Bhagavad Gita gives us the required knowledge. When we have the right knowledge with us, what will happen? Ignorance can't remain with us. The same thing has happened to Arjuna also, right? The conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita has become fixed to Arjuna. Therefore, he is glorified as Lord Krishna. And here, Srila Prabhupada says, demigod and every human being are dependent on him, right? All the men and demigods but the only thing is out of ignorance. They think that we are absolute, we are independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that, how can that ignorance be removed? Only via devotional service. Now, we are all assembled here. Can anyone say that we are independent? No, right? So we are taking the air from the Lord, the water is not ours, the air is not ours, the oxygen. Actually, everything happens, especially with the air, it happens very subtly, right? So that water means at least we can think, oh, water is coming from somewhere else. The prasadam is the vegetables, all those ingredients, they're all coming from Prakriti. We know that. But at least with the air, it happens very subtly. So that's why we have to come to the consciousness that nothing belongs to us. Then only we can understand that we are not independent. We are always dependent on the Supreme Personality Godhead. Like, for example, the oxygen, the water, the food, prasadam that we cook, it is digested, right? And then it becomes blood. It is converted into blood. The heart is pumping the blood to the brain, and the brain is working nicely. The oxygen is getting mixed, right? We're able to remember, we're able to recollect. The digestion is happening, the gut, the muscles are growing, the bones are growing, right? First we were very little, right? Then we become big. So all these things are happening simultaneously and very easily, right? And we can understand it's a very, very complex thing, but still the Lord is performing all the wonderful everything everything is happening. Right? It's not like he has put some software or machine, somebody is doing something inside. No, it's happening automatically, right? So and it's not like we are doing it, right? We are not doing anything. It's happening because Krishna has already programmed it that way, right? That's why we should understand that we are never independent of him. We are always dependent on the Supreme Merciful Lord. Now, the very simple thing to say is that we can understand is we are the only one who clean ourselves every day, especially after emptying our bowl, or we brush our teeth. Is there any other jiva, any other body apart from the human body who would brush their teeth in the morning? We have to clean ourselves, right? After emptying a bowl, or we have to take bath every day. There is no other jiva. Why? Because he's giving us an opportunity. The Lord is giving us an opportunity. Oh, my dear jiva, you're always dependent of me, right? He's saying that always we are dependent on his prakriti. So we'll see there. He says about all these things in other sloka also. We'll get to that. So he's making us, he is putting us into that situation to make us understand that we are not independent of the Lord. And it is not that because Krishna and also Krishna is not flattering, Arjuna is not flattering here, that by calling him the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the Vedic injunction, right? It is also said in the Vedic injunction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And Arjuna, in these two verses, confirms by the Vedic truth. Vedic injunctions affirm that only who takes devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him. So, devotional service means what? To be a devotee. Devotee means what? Devoted. A person who is devoted is devotee. It's not like you stay in. We can't put our two legs in different boats. One leg in one boat, with the other one leg in another boat. Sometimes I will worship Lord, and then sometimes I'll worship myself. No, it doesn't work like that. We are always dependent of the Lord. We are all his part and parcel, right? Mama amsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtan indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Mama eva amsha. Eva means eternally. We are part and parcel of the Lord, certainly. So what does the part and parcel do? It has to serve the whole. But why we have come here? Because we were envious of the Lord. So the Lord is giving us different situations to make us understand. Oh, my dear Jiva, you're always dependent. You're never independent. You cannot enjoy independent of me, right? So that's why the Lord is giving us different situations to make us understand. And we have to understand. Otherwise, if we don't understand, what will happen? We will put it into another animal or bird body. Then they will just live their lives. That's all. And in Mundaka Upanishad also confirms that Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. So this is called smaranam, right? And one of the methods of devotional service. So that's why Krishna says in 6.30, what does he say? For those who see me in everything and sees all things in me, what is the result? The result is I'm never lost to him, nor they are lost to me. See, so that's why when we see Krishna's energy everywhere, Lord is with us, right? We are thinking of the Lord. In the same way, we shouldn't think that, oh, I'm only thinking about the Lord. The Lord has forgotten me. No, it doesn't work that way. The moment we understand that, oh, this is Krishna's Prakriti, everything is happening because of the Lord. I'm utilizing Lord's energy. Lord also keeps us in his mind. So we should understand that. So we can see generally what happens in this material world. The boss gives us the work, and the employee has to do his work. Sometimes the employee doesn't get appreciation, doesn't matter how fast he does, how better he does. But the Lord is not like that. He's not going to abandon us. He will remember us. Any seva, everything is noted with the Lord. Okay. So we don't need to be fearful of that, right? So that's why the Lord is telling, you're never lost to me. So that's why the devotion service is very important, to be devoted, right? So next one is, he also says in Bhagavad Gita 7.7, there is nothing higher than myself, O Arjuna. Everything rests in me as beads strung on the thread, right? And in 9.10, the material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings under its rule. This manifestation is created, annihilated again and again. Mayadikshena prakriti suyate sa characharam, right? So he is the creator. He's the creator of what? The movable and the immovable, everything. And then it gets created and annihilated. So that's why we should understand, oh, this is Lord's energy, not my energy. Mayadikshena prakriti. The prakriti is working under the Lord's instruction, not our instruction, right? And why it is been given? So that we can understand, oh, we have been put in this situation because of our envy. So that what is the opposite of envy? Love. When we love the Lord. So how can we love the Lord? We should know about him. So how, this is all, what is the use of knowing? That also Krishna says, right? Janma karma chame divyam evam yoviti tatvatah tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, Janma karma chame divyam, his janma is divine, transcendental, and his karma, all his activities are also transcendental, and his form, the name, everything is transcendental. So that's why we should know, oh, how great we should, if we know about the Supreme Personality Godhead. That's why Srila Prabhupada has written the Krishna books separately, like Canto 10 is all Krishna book. If we read that, we can understand, oh, how great the Lord is. And we have come here to imitate the Lord. Oh, I want to become the creator. I want to become a proprietor. I want to control. Once we create, we say, oh, it's mine, proprietor. Once proprietor, we want to control that. And through that, we try to gain joy. And we're trying to gain attention in different ways, right? Wealth, power, fame, and beauty, wisdom, and renunciation. Through all these six, we are trying to gain attention. All the jivas are trying to gain attention. If somebody wants to be intelligent, somebody wants to be beautiful, somebody wants to be powerful, right? All these things: wealth, power, fame, beauty, wisdom, renunciation. Wealthy, right? What is the gain out of all of it? Attention. So, but the Lord is saying, give me attention. So that's why what happens in this. That's why the body is made in such a way that we may gain all of that, but it will come to an end at one time. So if we can see Ratan Tata, he was a very successful person, but what happened at the end of the day? He left us, right? He left this material world, and the journey stopped. So that's why before the journey stops, what are we supposed to do? We have to give credit to the Lord. We have to be grateful to the Lord, right? And that's why Krishna is saying, Pavitranai sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. So to make us remember what is our duty, he comes, he gives us the knowledge, and in that process, he annihilates the demoniac propensity people also, right? So here, although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. So how can we understand, right? By reading books written by bona fide acharyas, not like the books written by somebody, right? It should come through the disciplic succession in the association of pure devotees, following the regulative principles and not having envy, but with love. What will happen? Perfect knowledge is given to us. So here we are all using his given resources, but don't want to surrender to him, but want to be happy independently. How foolish it is, right? So it's like saying a fish, if we bring the fish outside from the water and we put it and we throw some water now and then, will the fish think, oh, I'm very happy, I'm very happy? No, it will always want to get out into the water. It want to be happy all the time. It's not like little water happiness and then, oh, water is not there, again struggling. No, it want to go back into the water. In the same way, we should also understand that we don't belong to this material world. We belong to a different world, which is the spiritual world. And what are we supposed to do? To seva. We will discuss a few more things later on. So, okay, now we have come to find out that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what are we supposed to do next? For example, a doctor is there, a lawyer, engineer, right, chartered accountant, a nurse, driver, cook, a pastry, cake maker. What will they do? They will start doing, they will utilize the knowledge to right? For example, a doctor, he will start his practice, right? He will start curing the diseases. Lawyer, he will help people with their issues, right? Engineering means you have to make a building or bridge or whatever. CA means they have to do their business. In the same, they have to help with the financial needs of people. In the nurse will help a doctor, right? A driver, a person who knows the driver, he doesn't have any job. What will he do? He will either drive, or if he has a lot of money, he will buy a car and he'll do his traveling business. In the same way, so when we understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what are we supposed to do? We have to start our devotional service, right? So we have to understand, oh, this is not my body. Not, for example, if we see chanting, this body, this instrument is not ours, right? Is there any other human body which can chant? No, only a human body can chant, right? So, and the mantra is also not ours, and the mantra is being made potent by the merciful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not made potent by us, right? So it's a given energy. The body is given, the energy is given, health is given, the instrument, this body is an instrument, it is given, the mantra is given, the potency in the mantra is given. So for what? To understand that, oh, this material world is bad. This is bewilderment, right? A lot of bewilderments are also given to make us understand, oh, let me get out of this world, not to enjoy. And this conditioned body, because if people are given a body and it's not made to die or to become jara, vyadhi, or etc., old age and all that, they will take it easy, right? So that's why he has given us old age, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, diseases, or death and all that, so that people will take, the jivas will take it seriously, right? So all of this are made ready for us. Why the Lord is telling, oh, come back, Jiva, please come back, don't stay here. Why he is doing all these things? Because the Lord loves us, right? Love, 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 and nothing else. He is loving us. So we have to also reciprocate, right? We were envious on the Lord. So what are we supposed to do? We should go back. We should also reciprocate we have to utilize this wonderful opportunity to go back to Godhead via chanting. So what are we supposed to do, dear devotees? We have to come to know that Lord is the master, not ourselves, right? So the me, we, ourselves. So what are we supposed to do? Chant and accept him as the master by doing attentive chanting and doing devotional service, right? We have to do patram pushpam phalam toyam when we surrender, and then we will go back home, back to Godhead. I have made a small PPT. I'll just share that. Yeah. So this is what we are doing right now. Okay, so I'm not able to make it big. So just see this. The Lord is also making different universes. What are we doing here? We have also made a small universe of ourselves, right? Small. All these circles is the small circle is us and then we have our own family. The family has friends with another family, so it's like that. We have made groups, right? A society, community, etc., etc. The Lord is doing. I also want to do. Let me enjoy like the Lord. So we have made our own different worlds, right? But the Lord, what is the Lord doing here? Just see what is the Lord doing. As we from young age, right? We move from our young age to middle to old. So our dependency on the Lord also, in the beginning, it is very high. If you see the graph, dependency is very high. But when we come to the middle age, we become little strong and our pride increases. So what will we do? We think, oh, I'm independent, let me enjoy the world, right? FOMO, fear of missing out. So we see, oh, let me enjoy the world. But later on, that's why what are we given? Little old age, right? So with this old age, what will happen? We will understand our dependency. Oh, I'm not independent, I'm always dependent. This energy is temporary, it's given and it is taken away, right? So people, we generally in the old age, what will happen? If we sit, we can't get up. If we are standing, sitting becomes difficult. So it's like that. Okay. So see this, we make our lives easy by making big houses, beautiful houses. But what is the Lord doing? He destructs. We are trying to make certainty in this world, but he gives us uncertainty by giving these cyclones, all these bushfires these days. California, we think, oh, California is such a wonderful place. Yeah, a lot of houses were destroyed, right? So, and the Lord is saying, this world doesn't belong to you. It belongs. We are supposed to be in the spiritual world, not in the material world. So that's why if you see, we have made different conveniences by making cars. What happened? The cars are in the water. See, this was in Gujarat. It happened in Chennai also some time ago, and it happens all over the world. See here, the crocodile is very happy. All the people are suffering, but the crocodile is very happy. It's sitting on the hut, somebody's house. So it's like that. All the conveniences are made inconvenient. Why? To understand that this is not the place to live. If we are made convenient, if everything is convenient, will anyone move there to a new house? No, I'm very happy here. What is the need of changing? So that's why the Lord is making these things inconvenient so that we understand, oh, why these things are happening, who is behind this. At least people will start questioning, and then slowly the Lord will send his representatives in the form of, like, in the devotees. What they will do? They will give Bhagavad-gītā, they will give different books, small books, to make us understand, oh, this world is not to given us a chance, an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to go back, not to stay here, but to go back. So when people are in a lot of stress, what are they doing? They're intoxicating, they're abusing the drugs, they're doing gambling, suicides are increasing, depression is increasing, domestic abuse is increasing. So they're unable to understand what is the right process to mitigate the issues, right? So they are utilizing all these different ways of mitigating their issues. But what actually happens? The issues even increase. It's not like they're decreasing. It even increases their problems. And when they lose their hope one day, they're committing suicide. So that's why the process actually is to understand that we are not independent. We are always dependent on the Lord. So how we can understand by the story of Mrigari. So Mrigari, one day, Narad Muni was going through a forest and he sees animals which were half killed. So he asks, "Oh, Mrigari, why are you doing this?" He says, "Oh, my father did the same thing. I am also doing the same thing." So he says, "Okay, but there is a lot of, you have to go through a lot of suffering. If you do this, you will have a lot of bad karma." So Mrigari says, "I'm doing for my family. I'm not doing just for myself." So he asks all his family members, "Will you take my bad karma? Will you take my bad karma? I'm doing this for you, all of us." So they say, "No, no, no. You are the head of the family. You have to take care of us. We are not going to take any of your bad karma." So then they come to a Narad Muni says, "Okay, I'll give you." Stop doing this. Narada Muni says, "Stop doing all this." So Mrigari asks, "How will I live?" So he says, "Don't worry, I will take care of all that." So Narada Muni sends him to a village, gives him the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, and he says, you worship the Tulsi Maharani. Nicely, you worship Tulsi, and he stays at the border of a village, at the edge of a village. So he is doing his worship, and what happens is the villagers, they come to know, "Oh, some sadhu has come. He's doing nice devotion service. Let us give something." So every day, some or the other villagers, they nicely give him some prasadam, something to eat. So he offers it to the Lord, and he nicely he does his devotional service. One day, Narad Muni and Parvata Muni, I think, so both of them, they come, and this Mrigari, who used to kill animals half dead, now what he does is, when he is moving, there are a lot of ants on his way. So he doesn't even kill those ants. He doesn't step on those ants. He is trying to shoo away them using a towel. So it's like that. See, the devotional service, what is it doing? It is softening the heart. It is making us understand, to see the reality. When we are not doing devotional service, we don't understand the reality. So Krishna says, right, according to your surrender, I will give you the knowledge. So Mrigari becomes a wonderful devotee. So it's like that. When we become a devotee, we become eligible to going back to Godhead. So thank you, dear devotees. So we have understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the next result is to do devotional service, to do chanting. And this Kali Yuga, we have to chant. That is the way to say, "Oh, my dear Lord, I'm not important. You are important. I'm your servant." So through chanting, we are giving attention to the Lord. A servant gives attention, right? So in the same way, we have to give attention. When we give attention to the Lord, slowly, our love towards the Lord will build. And when we love the Lord, what will happen? When we die, we will remember the Lord. Whoever we love, we will remember them, right? So in the same way, we will remember. So that's why the first thing to do is to know the Lord. Janma karma chame divyam evam yogeti tatvatha. We have to understand the Lord. So we have to read the books written by bona fide acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna book, Bhagavad-gītā, and all the other books. Then we can come to understanding that we are not independent. We are dependent of the Lord, and we are servants, and Krishna is the Supreme Master. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Any questions or comments we will take, or else we will close. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.